It's a growing hustling trend started during the pandemic. Maybe people dropped integrity for survival. Oh my God. Get off your high horse, dude. Are you serious right now? And then he goes on down here to call people that work multiple jobs actual digital prostitutes. Great name. Love the term. Digital prostitution. One of the most out of touch CEOs I've ever encountered. All right, let me give you the TLDR of this video. There is a CEO that says if you're working multiple jobs, you are essentially, please YouTube don't demonetize me for this, not my words, his words, okay? He says that's digital prostitution, and he has an entire post on it, and then all these other co-founders and CEOs start chiming in, wondering where all of the integrity of the workers have gone, and let me show you. Here's the founder and co-CEO for the Ministry of Programming. Dishonest, greedy, unavailable, unaccountable, unprofessional, hustler. Anyone comes to mind? I'm reading stories on the internet and talking to founders, and it seems these traits are more and more common in some programmers and designers working 2 to 4 full-time jobs in parallel with zero accountability. That's not a problem if everyone's work is getting done to a satisfactory level. Now I could see if they're underperforming and under-delivering and you're giving them chance after chance after chance and it's not working, so they just get fired. Yeah, I could see your frustration with that. But if people are working multiple jobs and everyone is happy with the work that is being done, then it shouldn't matter, really, in my opinion. Freelancing for multiple companies in a 10 to 12-hour working day. So let's talk about the law here, Ferris. You as a CEO should know a little bit about this. If someone is a contractor or a freelancer, you are not legally allowed to make them work only for you. It's a growing hustling trend started during the pandemic. Maybe people dropped integrity for survival, and he puts survival in quotes. Now, Ferris, let's break this down a little bit here. What's wrong with trying to survive? What's wrong with working multiple jobs to get by? I don't think that has anything to do with integrity. If people have bills and they want to put food on the table, people do what they have to do, and them working multiple jobs is fine, especially if they need to survive. So you saying they lose integrity for trying to survive is silly, and it makes you look really out of touch. I can't even comprehend how someone can overlap 2 full-time jobs at the same time during the same hours and sleep well. Do you mean sleep well because they're overworking, or sleep well because they're doing something shady? Because I don't think that's shady at all. If the person working 2 jobs is doing just fine and sleeps just fine at night and doesn't tell either employer that he's working for both of them at the same time, it doesn't matter. Again, especially if you're a freelancer or a contractor, you're not legally obligated to tell your client that you're working for other clients. That doesn't have to happen, and it's none of your business. Let's be honest. He says, I imagine the juggling odd meetings and commitments. Crazy. Now, there's plenty of stories about how people do this, but we're talking about the people who are doing just fine, which is a lot of people. And then some people just don't really care. They have a job, and then they get another job offer, and they're like, oh, why don't I just keep this job until I get fired and then move into my other position? A lot of people do that too, right? Just see how many paychecks you can collect before you get fired for not caring about that job anymore, and then you get some free money and you move on to your other job. But he says zero integrity as a CEO. It might just be me, but my thoughts are that your goal is to maximize profit as a CEO. That's your goal. Your goal is to make the most amount of money possible with the least amount of overhead. Now, if an employee wants to do that same thing, that is zero integrity. He says, unfortunately, this is one of the side effects of mass remote work. We see more and more bad actors acting in an unethical way. So ethics are subjective to the people that have them. They're just making the most amount of money possible with the least overhead as possible for as long as they can get away with it. And if everyone is happy with their work, I see no problems in that. Under-delivering as a default until uncovered. This isn't true at all. Plenty of people work multiple jobs and they do just fine, especially freelancers. Like, that's their entire life. Most freelancers have a couple clients at the same time that they're working with. The motto is get hired at multiple jobs, don't quit, get fired. That's not the motto. I think you just made that up. While the majority of remote workers are still decent and professional to honor their agreements and commitments, there is a growing minority of hustlers in the industry that are very greedy and money-driven at the expense of quality work and relationships. You're a CEO of a programming company and you invest in startups. Would you not say that you yourself are money-driven at the expense of quality work and relationships? You're just throwing things in there at this point. There are even forums and publications dedicated to some of these ideas, which I am not going to share, but you can find them via Google. So share them. Share them. Why don't you share them? I'm sure there are plenty of stories that are like, I'm doing great and my boss doesn't know, but if you did know, he'd be mad. And that's the thing, right? Like, these companies want you completely dedicated to them 100% of the time. But if your work is getting done, if the output is there, if the quality is there, there's no problems in this. There is zero issues in that. Is it really worth it to jeopardize your reputation and status in the network for a quick buck? Bro, that's your entire life. You're an investor. You're all about quick bucks. I'm sure you only invest in startups that have a plan to get you an exit, right? And the faster you can get that exit, the better off you are because you get your money, right? But apparently when employees do it, that's lack of integrity. You're whatever, right? It's dishonest and greed. We have another comment down here from Goran. I've been waiting for this type of thought. I know lots of people who's doing it below radar, and it goes just like that. Okay, so who cares? Why do you care so much? He says, I like to call it digital prostitution. I know it's kind of radical naming, but it is. Honest. No, it's not. People working multiple jobs are not digital prostitutes, Goran. Great name. Love the term digital prostitution. Ferris, I hope that every company you've ever invested in and all your other investors see this post. And just how silly it makes you look, and how immature it makes you look, and how one-sided it makes you look, and out of touch just from regular workers trying to have a better life by making more money outside of you, because chances are you won't give them a raise. I'll tell you a story real quick about one of my jobs. I had two jobs. I was working at a startup after my main job, and then during the day I was working my main job. So I'd end work at 5 and then go to my startup job from like 6 to 8:30 or something and work a few hours there. And they got upset about it. They said, Josh, we don't really appreciate this. Maybe you should focus more on just working for us, and instead of going to another company, you should work on your skills at home after work. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not getting paid to do that. I've done good work for you. You said this is good work, and I'm going to go do my other job now so I have leverage, so I can protect myself and have options. I think that's all the comments that we have on this post, but if you're not telling your boss that you have another job outside of work, then you have no integrity and you are essentially a digital prostitute. I'll link this post as a comment so you guys can go see it. He'll probably delete it after he gets called out from my video, or maybe he'll write a post about me or something like that. Either way, it's easy content for me, Ferris. So thank you so much for just coming out and showing everyone your true character. Please specify next time what you're talking about. And don't just lump everyone in there, especially people that are actually trying to survive. Please don't say that they don't have integrity. It's disgusting, honestly. It's so out of touch. That's this video. Hope you enjoyed it. See you guys in the next one.